Hey there, well, here we are, 2025. Are you ready for it? I know I am, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to help you get ready for 2025. So yep, January is a great time of the year to start really thinking about and working on our goals, what we want to achieve. So that's what we're going to be working on today, and this is actually the second part of our two-part series on goal setting for 2025. If you haven't yet seen the first one or listened to the first one via podcast, it is about the reflections of 2024 and what you accomplished and so on, and looking back, because we need to close that chapter, learn some lessons from it so that we know what we're doing moving forward from that. And then from that, we're then going to set our goals. So if you haven't listened to that yet, please make sure you do that. Of course, listen to me now and we'll work through this process together. But it'll be a great process for you to go through, is actually to go back and go through the reflections part one of our goal setting series, so that you are just getting that in place, letting go of what happened, moving on, right? And then you know where you want to go. It's really, really important. So don't go anywhere. I'm going to be with you very shortly. Hey there, Tiff here from Ambition Habits. It's so lovely to have you here, and I'm excited to be sharing this next video with you, this next podcast episode with you. If you're watching me via video or listening to me via podcast, I'm really looking forward to sharing this information with you. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be looking at setting goals. And so what I'm going to do for you and with you is we're going to create and give ourselves some space where you're going to be answering these questions, and I'm going to play some nice music for you, background music for you to work through, so that you are giving yourself the time to work through these areas or these questions so that you know what you're going to do moving forward. Okay, so are you ready? Because I know I am. Let's do it. Okay, question number one is decide what I want. So it's obviously not about me, it's about you. You're deciding on what you want. So what is it that you really want? And I don't want you to also just think about 2025, like overall, like what is it that you really want to get out of your life? Because what's going to be happening is, as you get going through this process and working out what it is that you want and giving yourself that space, because we're going to have that beautiful music in the background that you can be listening to, is really figuring out what it is that I want to move forward with. And a great time to be setting goals is always at the beginning of the year. Everyone finds that like resetting their life in the beginning of the year is a great way to do it. Obviously too, resetting every month is a good thing to do so that we can make sure that you stay on track. But especially like this month is so important. And I like to have a lot of space and time, so I don't rush out and plan on the 1st of January like some people do. I like to give myself some time to be thinking about what it is that I want to be doing moving forward, and listening to what other people are doing and so on, and different ideas about goal setting and so on, so that I can put my plans in place, but I can also share with you what you can do moving forward for you and putting those plans in place. So what I want you to do is to be deciding what you want. I'm going to share with you very, very quickly what I'm looking at doing for this year, and then I'm going to get you to work on that. So for this year, for me, ambition habits, that's going to be a big focus for me, and that's about building confidence in women in sport, and it doesn't matter how old you are. So you could be 15 listening to this, you could be 60, you could be 70, 80, 50, 90, whatever, right? Doesn't matter what level you're playing at either. It's about me helping you accomplishing your goals in your sport. So it's, building the confidence, it's building that mindset so you've got a lovely, strong, resilient mindset. It's making sure that you're feeding your body with the right nutrition. It's making sure that you've got the right fitness elements in place. And the big thing is also monitoring that self-care, because it's so important that you need to be looking after yourself. So that's going to be a big thing around ambition habits that I'm really, really looking forward to expanding and sharing with you in the future. Another big goal, number one lawn bowler in the world. So if you've listened to the last episode, I want to be the best. And I've had opportunities in tennis and golf. You know, I had big dreams with those and they didn't happen. But I've got number 3 chance to go, you know, to the top in my new sport. So I'm just absolutely going for it. So, you know, Commonwealth Games gold medal. If lawn bowls gets to go to the Olympics, I want to be, you know, Olympic gold medalist as well. And, you know, number one bowler, any big tournament, I want to be there and achieving and doing some great things. It's very, very exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that. Other things too, you know, like I feel like it's time for me to really trim down and get super, super fit this year. So I really want to make sure that I'm, you know, a lean, mean fighting machine like I was when I was younger. And so that's a big goal. I want to be writing some music. I want to be expanding my guitar development. I want to be relearning the piano. I want to go on adventures. I'd love to be cycling, you know, over in Europe, up, you know, in Italy and France, you know, through the mountains, what they do in the Tour de France. I reckon that would be absolutely magical. There's a lot of great things that I'd like to do around that too. So there's a lot of exciting things that are going on for what I'd want, but I'm just sharing you what I'm looking for. But now it's your turn. So what I want you to do is, following this question, is I'm going to give you some time to work through what it is that you want. So remember, the question is what do I want? Off you go. How'd you go with that? I bet you that you really gave yourself that time to really expand and let some things flow. So don't feel like you have to have everything all written down, and if you don't have enough time, just put a pause on there and give yourself more time so that you can really write out everything that's in your mind that you want to be doing and what you would like to accomplish in your life. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go on to question 2. Now question 2 is really expanding question 1. So what you've done is you've figured out what you want to do. Now what I want you to do is like expand it more. Like go into the detail. What is it that you really want to be doing with those particular things? And so for me, like with ambition habits, I want to be doing speaking engagements and going and talking and motivating women into accomplishing their sports dreams. I want to be talking to sports teams. Anywhere that I can get an opportunity to help women grow and expand their confidence, I'd like to be able to do that. I want to be able to put some great programs together for women so that they're building their confidence. Coaching programs, one-on-one coaching programs with me, an online membership program where you're working on your personal development in your sport and in your life as well. I think that's really important, so I'm really looking forward to doing that. Want to really promote my book more. I'd like to write another book. I've got some great ideas moving forward for that, so it's fiddling around with that also. As you know, a big dream is to be #1 lawn bowler in the world. So what I'm doing this year especially is I've already entered in the Australian Open. I've only been playing competition probably for the last few months, but hey, let's go for it, right? So I've entered into that. It's in the pairs with a good friend, and entered into the singles. So I've mapped out like what I'm doing there. Also got really clear on like the time that I want to spend on like drawing and working on music, in the sense of learning, expanding the guitar and relearning the piano, what the time I need to do for that. And also being really clear on, what size clothing do I want to wear, when I'm set to go, accomplish my big goal of, trimming down and being that lean, mean fighting machine. So the thing is I want to just be really clear on, okay, well, I know what I want. Now I've got to be more specific on what is it that I want to do in each of those areas that's actually going to give me the feedback to know that I'm on the right path and that I'm accomplishing it. So really what we're going to be doing here is we're actually going to figure out a way in which we're going to measure it. Okay, so this second question is really about like expanding deeper, but also figuring out whatever those areas are, is like, how are you going to measure that you've actually accomplished that goal, right? So from a weight loss perspective, right? So me fitting into a size 12 rather than a size 14 or something like that, right? How much money financially do you want to generate for 2025, right? How many songs do you want to write on the guitar? Or what's your goal for your, like I'm going the lawn bowls for the Australian Open, right? Big goal, I want to win it, right? So how are you going to measure that? And you want to get into that detail, okay? So that's what we're going to do now. You're going to go to number 2, is how will you measure that you've achieved that goal? Number 3, the formula. What is the formula for each thing that you want to do? What do you have to do for it? Like, the great thing that we're in now is we're in this incredible information age where we can just jump on line and just ask questions, right? The big expansion we've got now is AI. It's absolutely fantastic. I love it, right? It's got a lot of great benefits to it. And so if you were setting up a training program, for example, for your fitness, you could just go into AI and just punch in or Copilot on Microsoft or whatever, and just punch in what's the formula for me to have a good training program for lawn bowls, right? For golf, for basketball, for soccer, for karate, whatever the sport may be, right? And it will just list out a lot of things for you. You can expand it deeper as well, but it starts giving you that formula that you need in order for you to be very clear on what the steps are, okay? And the big thing I think where people fall down is for 2 reasons. Is one, they don't know how they're going to measure that success. Like, they set the goal, and I've been exactly the same. They've set the goal, but you haven't really been clear on how you're going to measure, how you're actually going to be achieving that. And the second thing is knowing the formula, like what are the steps that you actually need to do to actually make that work. So what I want you to do now is I want you to be working out your formulas for what your plans are of what you want to be doing so that you're accomplishing your goals. So let's get to it. How'd you go? Interesting, isn't it? When you really start getting really clear on what you want, you get very, very excited about it, don't you? I felt that same way too. When I was starting to put the formulas together about what I wanted to do moving forward, like with lawn bowls, with ambition habits, with my nutrition, with my training and everything, and I started to really map out exactly what I wanted to do. It's so exciting because now you're not wafting around thinking about it. You've got the plan, right? You've got that piece of paper in your hand and you're going, right, now I know what I need to be doing moving forward. So, excellent, well done. Now, what we're going to be doing now is question 4, and this is going to be the last one that we're going to be working through. And what I want you to be thinking about here is your reps. And the thing is like in, like you've heard, like in training, like when you're at the gym, it's about the repetition movements that you do, right? It's building the muscle, so to speak. So what I want you to be thinking about with all these goals that you set, like, we've got to put the reps in, right? Whether it's daily or every second day, but we've got to give ourselves that space and that discipline that we've got to really work on the finer detail so that we can make those goals happen. So what we want to be doing here is like putting the plan of like what are the reps that we're going to be doing. So I'll give you a great little example on what you can be doing there. So what I've got is some index cards, as you can see here. All right. Now, what I'm doing with these index cards is I'm actually writing on the front of the index card like a repetition that I want to be doing. So let's say for meditation, right? So I want to be making sure that I'm working on my meditation because it's going to help keep me calm, it's going to help keep me focused, and it's also going to attract everything and draw everything that I want to me in what I want to accomplish. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my daily meditation. So what I put on my card is I will meditate at 10:30 a.m. for 15 minutes, and then on the back of the card I have the dates, so for every day that I do it, right? So let's say we'll play, like for example, it's like for the month of January, and then I've got all the dates for the month of January there, and I tick off the reps, right, that I've done it, right? So what it does is it measures it, gives me feedback that I'm committing to my goal, right? Now we know that like after a period of time with doing those repetitions, you build the muscle, you get better at it. Another one that I'm working on too is also like at night I'm listening to a confidence hypnosis audio. So what I do every night is at night when I go to bed, I listen to I Am Confident hypnosis, and then on the other side of it, they've got the dates, and I give it a tick on what that I'm doing that on a regular basis. Again, repetition, so I can track it. Same things with gym. Like I'm training at the gym, and today I'm working on strength training, upper body, at the gym from 6:30 to 8:30 a.m. for example, right? Flip on the other side, I give it a tick that I've done that. Now, what I've done with them is I've sectioned them off into days, like I've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday through to Sunday, so that all I have to do is pull out those reps that I'm working on for that particular day, tick them off. Yep, done it, right? Then it gives me the feedback that I can measure it at the end of the month, knowing that I'm on the right track. Because I'll know it because I'll feel it anyway, but it's also given me that written proof that I'm doing it, right? It's a great way to monitor that. So what I want you to be thinking about now is how are you going to build the reps into what you're doing to accomplish your goals? What is it that you're going to be doing there? Could use my idea. I thought it was a great idea. And putting that in place. So we're going to play some music for you right now so that you can get into identifying what the reps are going to be so that you're helping yourself, especially let's aim for this month of January, what you're going to be doing to be accomplishing your reps for the month of January. How'd you go? It was a great process, wasn't it? I think it's really good to really work on expanding yourself, figuring out what it is that you want to be doing moving forward. I find it very exciting when you have a plan in place. It's right there, you can see it. Now you know what you're working towards, you know what you need to be tracking, you know what you need to get feedback on, and then you work through that for a period of time over the month. At the end of the month you can check it all out and then reset for the following month. So really good process. I hope you really enjoyed that. What I'm also putting together too is called the winning start. So it's a way in which to help you kickstart your goals, so you can work one-on-one with me. It's a 3-session process that we can delve deep into identifying your goals and what you want to accomplish in your sport and in your life as well, if you want to be working on that too. Happy to work on that with you also. So if you're really keen to know more about that, there'll be information on my site on that called the Winning Start. So make sure you go and check that out. And I look forward to hearing from you if that's what you want to do moving forward, and you and I work together in getting really clear if you're really struggling on piecing everything together in setting your goals here today. But in saying that, I hope you really enjoyed today's episode. Love it if you could share with me what you like best about what you heard today. And I want you to do this, I want you to dream big, believe in you, and go after your dreams. Take care, talk soon, bye for now.